The footage shows a worker seated at a control station or working in the immediate vicinity of an active industrial robot. Suddenly, the worker makes an apparent error in operation or presses an incorrect control sequence, causing the robot arm to immediately extend or rapidly deploy its structure, striking the worker forcefully in the head area. This event created an extreme blunt impact hazard from the moving machine component. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand the use of clearly marked emergency stops and proper sequencing in all robotic operations. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures, requiring maintaining a safe standoff distance from the robot's operational envelope, especially during programming or manual control, to prevent devastating struck-by injuries. The footage clearly shows a worker operating near the machine's moving components, specifically the mold closing area. The worker stepped directly into the path of the closing mold platens while the machine was cycling. The machine mold immediately closed or actuated with immense force, striking and pinning the worker. This catastrophic event created an immediate and extreme crush and pinch point hazard due to the machine's powerful closing force. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand the use of lockout, tagout procedures before any employee enters or reaches into the operational zone. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to machine guarding and safety interlocks to prevent devastating crush injuries. The footage clearly shows two individuals performing tasks near the tanker's containment compartment. Suddenly, a spark or heat source ignited the flammable vapors inside or surrounding the vehicle. This failure immediately resulted in a massive explosion and a large fireball that rapidly engulfed the area and the vehicle. This catastrophic event created an immediate and extreme burn, blast impact, and heat exposure hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand the elimination of all ignition sources and rigorous ventilation when working near volatile vapors. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures for handling hazardous materials and performing detailed risk assessments to prevent devastating fire and explosion incidents. The footage clearly shows a worker operating materials in close proximity to the high-speed rotating axis. Suddenly, the material became jammed or was caught by the spinning mechanism, which immediately pulled and entangled the worker onto the rotating shaft. This catastrophic event created an immediate and extreme entanglement and crush hazard from the powerful rotation. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand robust machine guarding around all rotating shafts and in-running nip points. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures, requiring the use of specialized tools, never operating near unguarded rotating parts, and immediately employing lockout, tagu, loto, when clearing material jams to prevent devastating entrapment injuries. The footage shows a worker, a woman, assisting with the removal of materials from the truck bed. Due to an apparent lapse in attention or loss of control, a package or container slipped from her grasp and fell forcefully to the ground. Upon impact, the cargo immediately exploded, resulting in a large blast and dispersal of material across the area. This catastrophic event created an immediate and extreme blast impact and shrapnel, chemical hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand rigorous identification and safe handling procedures for all potentially volatile or pressurized cargo. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures, requiring the use of appropriate handling equipment and PPE when dealing with unknown or high-risk materials to prevent devastating explosion and impact. Injuries. The footage clearly shows a worker manipulating material very close to the high-speed moving saw blade. Suddenly, the worker's hand or finger directly contacted the operating saw blade. This catastrophic event created an immediate and extreme cutting, pinch, and severe laceration hazard from the sharp, rapidly moving blade. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand maintaining a safe distance from the active blade and always using push sticks or specialized material guides when feeding stock into the saw. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures by ensuring the blade guard is correctly positioned and never placing hands within the danger zone to prevent devastating cutting injuries. The footage shows the excavator lifting a massive, oversized rock or heavy load toward the truck bed. Due to the extreme weight and poor center of gravity, the moment the load touched the truck bed, the truck immediately tipped and overturned onto its side. The truck driver demonstrated quick thinking and was able to immediately exit the cab as the vehicle tipped. This event created a severe crush and vehicle overturn hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand accurate load weight assessment and adherence to vehicle stability limits before commencing heavy loading. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures, requiring the use of appropriate heavy equipment rated for the load and maintaining a safe standoff distance from vehicles during loading to prevent devastating overturn incidents. The video documents a severe railway incident where a group of individuals were dangerously close to active tracks. As the train approached, one person failed to move to a safe distance and was forcibly struck by the train. This created an immediate and extreme impact hazard. This serves as a critical warning that unauthorized presence on or near active railway lines is strictly prohibited. All individuals must strictly adhere to rail safety rules and maintain a wide exclusion zone to prevent devastating collision injuries. The footage clearly shows the crane lifting a massive load or operating the boom at an extensive radius. Suddenly, due to the load exceeding the safe working limit or a lack of ground, outrigger stability, the crane lost its balance and completely tipped or collapsed. This catastrophic event created an immediate and extreme crush and blunt impact hazard from the falling heavy equipment and load. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand rigorous inspection of load charts, ground stability, and safe load limits. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures by establishing and enforcing clear exclusion zones and never operating outside the crane's safe operating envelope to prevent devastating collapse and overturn incidents. The footage shows a mechanic working underneath a heavy vehicle or truck secured on a hoist, lift. Suddenly, another individual approached and manually intervened with the lifting system controls or mechanism. This intervention immediately caused the vehicle to lose stability and suddenly collapse onto the floor. Fortunately, the mechanic under the vehicle reacted instantly and managed to escape the danger zone in the nick of time, narrowly avoiding a severe crush injury. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand the use of lockout, tagout, and never allowing unauthorized intervention with lifting equipment controls. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures and maintaining a safe work zone to prevent catastrophic collapse and crush incidents. The video documents an extremely dangerous industrial incident involving high-speed rotating equipment. The footage clearly shows a worker operating materials in very close proximity to the running machine's spinning shaft or mechanism. Suddenly, a piece of the worker's clothing was caught and immediately entangled by the rotating part. This catastrophic event created an immediate and extreme entanglement and crushing hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly prohibit wearing loose clothing, gloves, or jewelry near any rotating machinery. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures, requiring robust machine guarding and maintaining a safe standoff distance to prevent devastating entanglement injuries. The video captures a critical warehouse incident where a worker was unsafely standing on the forklift's platform to stabilize cargo. The load shifted, causing the worker to fall from height just as the forklift moved forward, resulting in the individual being forcefully struck and impacted by the heavy machine. This chain of events created an extreme crush and impact hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly forbid standing on forklift forks and absolutely require workers to be separated from moving vehicles. Loads must be securely strapped or wrapped, and strict adherence to safe operating procedures is essential to prevent devastating fall and crush injuries. The video captures a severe industrial incident where a worker was operating dangerously close to a high-speed rotating machine spindle. A piece of the worker's clothing, or PPE, was immediately caught and entangled, pulling the individual into the machine and causing severe rotation. This created an extreme and instant crush and entanglement hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly forbid wearing loose items, gloves, or jewelry near rotating machinery. Strict adherence to machine guarding procedures and maintaining safe standoff distances is essential to prevent devastating entrapment injuries. The footage shows the vehicle moving a load when the engine compartment suddenly ignited, immediately creating a severe fire hazard. This failure was likely caused by prolonged operation or a lack of preventative maintenance. The operator demonstrated quick action by immediately exiting the vehicle and moving to a safe distance. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand adherence to rigorous preventative maintenance schedules and immediate mechanical inspection when equipment shows signs of stress or overheating. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to emergency procedures, requiring safe and rapid evacuation, and the correct use of fire suppression methods to prevent devastating fire damage and personal exposure. The video captures a severe loading incident where a worker was driving a forklift up a loading ramp onto a truck bed. The forklift lost stability, fell off the ramp, and immediately overturned, forcefully impacting the worker as it tipped. This created an extreme crush hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand the use of secure, properly rated ramps and dock levelers for vehicle access. Strict adherence to equipment inspection and stability procedures is essential to prevent devastating overturn and crush injuries during loading maneuvers. The video captures a severe incident in a vehicle repair shop where workers were performing motorcycle maintenance. A sudden, powerful explosion occurred, violently propelling the motorcycle into the air. Fortunately, no workers were injured in the immediate vicinity. This created an extreme blast and impact hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand adherence to fire safety and volatile material handling rules. Strict adherence to safe procedures for fuel, electrical, and battery systems, proper ventilation, and maintaining safe distances are essential to prevent devastating explosion and impact injuries. The video captures a severe industrial incident where a large crane was attempting to salvage a heavy truck submerged in water. As the crane lifted the load, the weight exceeded the safe working limit, likely due to trapped water, causing the main boom structure of the crane to fracture and collapse. The truck subsequently dropped. This failure created an immediate and extreme structural collapse and crush hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols demand precise load calculation, especially for submerged objects, and strict adherence to the crane's safe working load, SWL, to prevent catastrophic structural failure and overturn incidents. The video captures a severe industrial incident where a worker was operating on a high-pressure pipe. The line violently ruptured near completion of the work, releasing a massive, pressurized blast that forcefully threw the worker backward, creating an extreme pressure injection and impact hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand low-tow and zero-energy procedures on all pressurized systems. It is essential to verify all internal pressure is vented and use appropriate PPE to prevent devastating pressure-related injuries. The video captures a severe near-miss incident in a warehouse or loading dock. The footage shows a worker walking without noticing an unprotected floor opening used for dropping cargo. The individual suddenly slipped and fell directly through the opening. Fortunately, a tall stack of materials positioned below broke the fall, preventing severe impact trauma and turning this into a critical near miss. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all floor openings be covered, guarded, or clearly marked when not actively in use. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures for housekeeping, proper hazard communication, and maintaining high situational awareness to prevent devastating fall injuries. The video captures a severe maritime failure where a barge, loaded with large concrete structures, suddenly lost stability and completely overturned, dumping the entire cargo into the water. This catastrophic failure was caused by the extreme and shifting weight exceeding the vessel's capacity or improper load distribution. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand rigorous calculation of the center of gravity and vessel stability during heavy cargo transfer. Strict adherence to pre-lift surveys and proper load securement is essential to prevent devastating marine overturn incidents. The video captures an extremely dangerous near miss at an uncontrolled crossing where a motorcycle rider attempted to rush across the tracks as a train approached. The rider lost control and fell directly onto the rail line. Fortunately, the individual managed to roll or scramble away from the tracks just as the train sped past, resulting in a miraculous escape without physical harm. This incident created an extreme blunt impact and crush hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all drivers and riders absolutely stop, look, and listen before crossing any railway line. Strict adherence to yielding the right of way is essential to prevent devastating collisions. The video captures a severe collision where a pedestrian entered the railway tracks without adequately checking for oncoming rail traffic. An individual, a woman, was violently struck by a rapidly approaching train, and the force of the impact sent the person flying away from the tracks. This catastrophic failure to respect the safety zone created an extreme blunt impact and crush hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all individuals stop, look, and listen before crossing any railway line. Strict adherence to staying completely clear of the tracks until safe is crucial for preventing devastating collisions. Captured by CCTV, the video records a catastrophic accident where a commercial tractor-trailer became disabled, stalled on the active rail line at a controlled crossing. Despite warning barriers lowering, a high-speed train was unable to stop and violently impacted the stalled truck. The collision caused massive destruction to the truck and severely damaged the locomotive, rail cars, resulting in an immediate and extreme blunt impact and crush hazard. This incident is a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand drivers ensure they can fully clear the tracks without stopping before proceeding across any rail line. The video captures an extremely dangerous incident where an individual was positioned precariously close to or bent down over the active rail line while a train was in motion. The train, moving at speed, violently struck or contacted the woman due to her proximity to the tracks. This reckless failure to maintain a safe distance created an immediate and extreme blunt impact and crush hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all individuals maintain a safe, clear separation from all active rail lines and never place any part of their body near the tracks when a train is approaching or in motion, which is crucial for preventing devastating impact injuries. The footage shows a man walking or running near the platform edge as a train is already in motion. The individual suddenly attempts to climb or board the moving train, but loses balance or slips, causing him to fall directly into the track area next to the moving rail cars. The proximity to the moving train created an immediate and extreme blunt impact and crush hazard. Fortunately, another person quickly intervened, rushing to pull the man away from the train's wheels and danger zone. This incident serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all passengers remain behind the designated yellow safety line on the platform at all times and strictly prohibit attempting to board or disembark any moving train, emphasizing the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures to prevent devastating falls and injuries. The footage shows a man walking or standing precariously close to the active tracks as a train is in motion. The individual, described as potentially impaired, loses balance or stumbles, causing him to fall directly onto the rail line as the train passes. The train violently strikes or contacts the man due to his proximity to the moving cars. This reckless disregard for the safety zone created an immediate and extreme blunt impact and crush hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all individuals maintain a safe, clear separation from all active rail lines and remain alert and behind designated safety markings when trains are approaching or in motion, which is crucial for preventing devastating injuries. The video captures a severe collision at a railway crossing or pedestrian path in a densely populated area. The footage shows a high-speed train rapidly approaching as an individual, a man, suddenly attempts to cross the tracks, appearing to be unaware or disregard the imminent rail traffic. Due to the high speed, the train was unable to stop or slow down in time and violently impacted the man. This catastrophic failure to yield the right-of-way created an immediate and extreme blunt impact and crush hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all individuals stop, look, and listen and maintain a clear separation from active rail lines to prevent devastating collisions in busy environments. The video, captured from a stationary camera, records a severe collision between a train and a pedestrian. The footage shows an individual, a woman, walking extremely close to or entering the active rail line as a train is seen rapidly approaching. The train violently impacts the pedestrian, and the force of the collision sends the person forcefully away from the tracks. This catastrophic failure to maintain a safe distance created an immediate and extreme blunt impact and crush hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all individuals stop, look, and listen before approaching or crossing any railway line, emphasizing the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures, requiring pedestrians to stay completely clear of the tracks to prevent devastating collisions. The footage clearly shows a large truck parked too close to the active rail line, with the vehicle extending into the train's clearance path. A train is seen rapidly approaching and violently impacts the side of the parked truck. The force of the collision causes significant damage to the truck, which is violently thrown or spun away from the tracks. This catastrophic failure to respect the safety zone created an immediate and extreme blunt impact and crush hazard and resulted in significant property damage. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all vehicles maintain a wide, clear separation from all active rail lines and never park in a manner that obstructs the railway's right-of-way, emphasizing the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures to prevent devastating collisions and property loss. The footage shows a truck proceeding across a level crossing with severely limited visibility. Due to the driver's decision to cross, despite the compromised view, the truck drove into the path of an oncoming train. The high-speed train violently impacted the truck, resulting in a devastating collision. This reckless maneuver created an immediate and extreme blunt impact and crush hazard. This serves as a critical warning that mandatory safety protocols strictly demand all drivers stop, look, and listen before proceeding at any rail crossing. And absolutely, never attempt to cross when visibility is restricted, emphasizing the absolute necessity of strict adherence to safety procedures to prevent catastrophic collisions.